Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is a hot and muggy one today, but I don't care because I'm going to be cruising around in a air-conditioned cab, at least for a little while. What we need to do this morning is get some neglected and overgrown trails back into shape. We have a whole series of trails here on the property, and to tell you the truth, I haven't even been to the other hill in probably 3 or 4 months. What my plan is, I'm going to take the skid loader with the grapple and we'll head out that direction, and when we come back, we'll be coming back from this side over here. But if you kind of snake through the woods out here on the flat, then you go down over a steep hill, follow along the creek for a ways, and then we'll pop out on my mom's driveway. We'll go up past her house, way over on the other hill, you can't see through the trees, up to the old apple orchard, and then we'll come over down to the pond and back up to the wood yard and then back out here. That's kind of the main trail, like the big loop. I have the brush hog on the LX, I'm sorry, rotary cutter. The other day somebody left me a comment about, it was like this long, explaining to me why I shouldn't call it a brush hog. I know that that's a brand, but it's kind of a regional thing. Around here, we call them brush hogs. Technically, they're rotary cutters, but you know, if someone has an overgrown field, they don't call asking you to bring your rotary cutter over. They say, can you bring your brush hog over? Some people call them bush hogs, all different names, but it cuts brush. But anyway, I have the brush hog, rotary cutter, on the LX, and I was gonna take it out in the woods, but I thought I'll put this grapple on first on the skid loader, because I'm sure, without a doubt, there's gotta be a bunch of trees across the trails, and I'll kind of blaze a path with this first. Then we'll come back and get on the LX and put the finishing touches on it. I said in the last video that I'm kind of done working out here for a while. Kind of changed my mind on that just a bit. I'm so close to making this look really nice. So once we get done with all the trails, we'll probably do some more work out here. While I have the grapple on, before we get started, I'm going to get this big red oak stump. And there's a couple big maples over there. I'm going to get them down to the stump pile, and then, and only then, we'll head out in the trails. All right, I was moving along pretty good. Kind of came to a screeching halt. I need a chainsaw. I didn't bring one with me. Kind of hard to keep one on the skid loader, and I didn't really think I'd need it. I could try pushing that end around, but this is all going to get tangled up. That's a big maple right there. All right, so I made a phone call for a little help. I talked to Melissa. She's going to go get the SideKick and grab a chainsaw and bring down. Wanted to mention something. It is, what is it, the middle of July right now? Normally, yeah, this is normally when I do these trails. Earlier than that, I always get a little nervous because the fawns, I just saw a deer up there when I said fawns. The fawns, they hang pretty tight, and I'd hate to run one over. But by this time of year, they're a little bigger. They take off running, they get out of the way. They're starting to learn. I did mow the trails down in West Virginia about a month ago, but it wasn't real thick. I could kind of see what I was doing. In here, especially when I go out across this flat where we're gonna go next, it usually gets pretty thick and pretty tall throughout there. But this is working out really good. I just need a chainsaw. I can sit in that cab, push all this stuff out of the way, and I know when I bring the tractor out, I can just kind of cruise and not worrying about hitting anything. Here she comes. You'll probably, I appreciate it, but you'll probably have to follow me once I get this opened up, okay, down to the driveway to get turned around. I don't think you can turn around on this hill.
No, but coming in, I realized the trail has some narrow parts, then you turn.
Yeah.
And where you were clearing, I go flying out there, and you had made a small trail with that clearing that led right up to a tree, and I'm like following that path. I'm like, whoa, okay,
that's not the way.
I gotta turn here.
That one little spot where dog legs are on there, I should just kind of straighten that,
I agree, section
out there.
I actually thought you were down here with the excavator. I'm like, how did he get this down here?
Yeah, I could get down here with this. This is just kind of faster, you know?
Yeah, right. Okay, I brought your chainsaw.
All right, thanks. All right, I made a few cuts there. I think enough to get this out of the way. And like I said, you'll be able to follow me, okay, whole way down to the road, okay, turn around, head back up. was into a real mess right there, but we got down here to my mom's driveway. Next up, we're gonna head up to the old apple orchard. We made it up the old apple orchard. Definitely needs mowed up here. Trail goes up through here. I know there's some down trees there, but once we get to the pond, it'll be smooth sailing up to the house. We made it to the pond. From there up to the house should be good. But that is by far the worst I have ever seen the trails. This was all cleaned up last year. So there's probably 20 or 30 decent sized trees across the trail and a bunch of limbs. But yeah, quite the mess. But I think I'll have smooth sailing with the tractor and the brush hog, rotary cutter. All right, we made it up to the wood yard. I don't see any new scratches. I tried being careful, but that was pretty rough down there. All right, I made it up here to the old apple orchard, but look what I discovered up here. More trees down, a whole bunch of them actually. And what's interesting, to give you some idea where I'm standing at here, that little clearing project that I'm working on, it's over that way. You go down this hill to the stream and then way up the other side. It's a good 2,000 feet away. And all the trees that blew down over there were blown this direction. Same as all these ones here. The cherry tree right there. Another cherry. A red oak. I see another big stump down right there. One there. One there. There's 6 or 7 trees down just in this one spot right here. And then a bunch of busted limbs up top. That must have really been some kind of wind. And then over this way, I see a big one down over here. I'm not sure what it is yet. I got an old tree stand right here. Someday I'll put my drone up and kind of fly that path of what those winds did there. Yeah, we got a big mess over here. I literally have more wood than I know what to do with. There's a whole pile of cherry right here in the ground. Wow. Big tangled up mess. Huh. Yeah, there's more down that way. Yeah, so whatever it was came from that direction, headed this way. The LX 3310 has been a little powerhouse on this project. It's nice having that extra horsepower when you're doing this kind of stuff. You're running the brush hog, rotary cutter, and you're backing up those real steep hills or pulling up them. It doesn't bog down at all, and it works out really good. Plus, it's kind of a compact package. It's not real small, but it's definitely smaller than the MX, which makes it nice for getting back in these trails. But anyway, I'm going to mow some more in the orchard here, and then we'll head down by the pond, go back up to the house. And I think we'll take a ride on the four-wheeler and do like a time lapse of everything that I got done today, give you a better look. All right, I got the main trail all mowed up, ready to go. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hop into SideKick, and Eva is gonna get on the four-wheeler and I'll show her around. I'm not sure she knows everywhere that trail goes, but look at this tractor here. Look how dirty. It's one thing nice about a cab tractor. All that dirt's on the outside. Hey, Arch. Got Pork Chop and Slim Jim here. Come on, Arch. What are you doing, Melissa?
Just watching these two.
So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get Eva, put her on the four-wheeler. She can follow me in the SideKick, because I don't think she knows where all the trails are. No.
And in fact, our daughter Hannah didn't know where all the trails were.
Oh, yeah.
We put them, yeah, so.
I rented that like a diamond forestry cutter.
Yeah.
Cut all these new trails, and tell them what Hannah did.
Yeah, so I'm like, Hannah, she said she was going to take a walk. I'm like, you're going to want to go out the trail at the mini cabin. You can hook a left, and then there's plenty of trails, like 3 miles of trails, but there's different options. And she's like, I know. I'm like, okay, fine. So she goes, and like 45 minutes later, I get a phone call, and she's like, I'm on this road that I don't know how I got here. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
so
she came out.
Totally didn't even follow the trail and just ended up somewhere else.
I know. Hopefully Eva does better. We'll see.
I think she has a general idea because she walks the dogs.
All right, you ready, Eva?
Yep.
Think you can keep up?
Yep.
I'm gonna ride the I'm gonna drive the side by side, and you can cruise the big Polaris.
Okay.
Can't hear you, Eva, with your helmet on.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Oh, it's nice.
Did you see the little turkeys?
I was wondering what those were. I thought they were ducks.
No, they were little turkeys in front of me.
Yeah.
And then there was a doe jumped across the path right in front of them.
Oh,
and then
missed this all.
going up the orchard, I saw a little fawn.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, Hunter.
I didn't see any of those animals.
Yeah, because I was in front. But yeah, that's a nice trail.
It is really nice.
So, the first part of this video, well, most of the video, was from yesterday. Today, we went on a road trip, didn't we?
That's right.
Want to tell them what we found out? Or we could just show them.
Yeah, we'll show you.
It's pretty exciting news. We'll show you what we found out today. That's right. Hannah and Tyler are having a little boy.
I took off my pink shirt and I wore my blue shirt.
So we went to State College for a gender reveal. We were considering staying out there tonight, but we decided to come home. We have a bunch of stuff to do here. And one other thing I want to tell you before I wrap this video up. At the end here, I'm going to play a little clip from a couple young guys that I met with the other night. It's definitely worth a watch. Chase and Noah. I think we explain in the clip how we met and how we got to know each other, but they have a podcast.
Check it out.
And I think they'll do well with it. I really do, because they're passionate about what they do and they put in the work. And they asked if they could kind of interview me on the podcast. I said, sure. So I came out, we spent about an hour and a half, and we just talked. And it was pretty cool because, like, I'm an older guy, obviously, and got to talk with some young guys. And it was pretty cool. But I like podcasts. I do. Who knows? Maybe one day these two will be the next Joe Rogans or something. And we'll look back in 10 years and say I was like their first guest
That'd
or
be
something.
awesome, and I'm sure they can do it.
Yeah, so I will put a link in the description of this video and a pinned comment as well if you want to go check out that podcast. All right, we have a special surprise for you guys. You two want to introduce yourself?
So my name is Chase Thomas. I'm Noah Wes, and we are the co-hosts of our own podcast called Nothing But Nonsense Podcast.
Now, how did we meet, Chase?
Now, how did we meet? My sister is very good friends with your daughter, Eva Morgan, and we had just kind of been acquainted through that networking, and we had sat down about a week ago and kind of had a conversation and kind of got it kick-started here.
Yeah, so these guys have a podcast, and I just sat down with them for what, about an hour and a half?
Hour and a half, probably.
Hour and a half, and it's kind of cool because here I am, an old guy with some young guys, but we still have like a lot in common. We had a great conversation, and you guys give me hope for America when I see young guys like you two.
Thank you. I would hope so.
Yeah, I really do. But anyway, I'm going to put a link to that podcast in the description of this video, and hopefully some of our viewers can stop over and check you guys out and subscribe to your channel. But it's good, clean podcast, no shenanigans, and you just kind of sit around and BS with friends and talk about things, right?
Yeah, that's all we do. Talk about nothing but nonsense.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it.
We appreciate you too. Thank you.